Hey everybody, Mr. Odom here, and we are going to go over the Chapter 4 practice test answer key. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So for the first exercise, it says write the word sentence as an inequality. You have to be able to understand things like phrases like is at least, is no more than, and be able to find the correct inequality symbol. So for this one, G multiplied by -8. Don't write it like this. A lot of students I see, they'll write that. They'll write, oh, G multiplied by -8. But that doesn't even look like G multiplied by -8. It looks like G minus 8. Remember to put the number to the left of the variable. That way this number becomes the coefficient. Okay, so that's the answer to number 1. -8G is greater than or equal to 1/4. For number 2, it says at least 40 people, which means it could be 40 or it could be more than 40. So that is the greater than or equal to symbol, which I need to use. So here's the inequality that I wrote. X is greater than or equal to 40. Maybe I can put 40 people. All right, number 3, tell whether -3 is a solution. We've worked out problems like this. I need to take -3 and substitute it for x. So I do that, I do the work, and I end up with 15 is greater than or equal to 15, which is a true statement. So yes, -3 is a solution. For number 4, graph this solution. So I did the work over here to find that v is greater than or equal to -5, and then there's my graph. And I drew kind of my style of graph up here, and then what you will see when you have to make your choice on the online test in Big Ideas, while they write their graph on the number line. For number 5, I'm going to graph the solution of this inequality, multiply both sides by 3, and I have x, or -12 is greater than x, which means x is less than -12, and there's my graph. Number 6, divide both sides by 4.5, put that in my calculator, and k is greater than 4, so I go ahead and graph that one. Number 7, -1/3 times k. So now when I multiply by a negative number on both sides, I need to make sure that I switch the direction of the sign. So I did that. So k is less than or equal to -6. And I colored in the circle. All right, number 8, I graph this solution again. I'm multiplying by a negative number so I can get y by itself. So I have to change the direction of the inequality sign. So it was greater than, and now it's less than. And I get y is greater than -16, and I graph it with the open circle. For number 9, which graph represents the solutions of this inequality? Well, I have to solve it. All right, so make sure you do that on the test, solve the inequality, see what you get, and see which one of these pictures represents x is greater than 5. And it happens to be this one with the open circle, and it's greater than 5. All right. For number 10, I worked through this, and here I'm dividing by a negative number, so I changed the direction of the sign. And there's canceling here. Let me do that, canceling. I cancel there, and I get b is less than -6, and I graph it. For number 11, I could use the distributed property, but I decided since this is a multiplication problem, 3 times g minus 2, that's an ugly 3. Let's do that one again. There we go. I divide both sides by 3. And that cancels, and I'm left with g minus 2 on the right-hand side, and then I add 2, so that way I get g by itself, and I flipped it over to the left-hand side to make it easier to graph. G is greater than or equal to -2, and I make sure I color in the circle. For number 12, which inequality or inequalities have the same solution as this? Well, I need to figure out what the solutions are. So it's 6 is less than or equal to x, which I see right here. Right? That's one of them. When I look at the other ones, 14 is less than or equal to x. That's not going to work. Here, if I subtracted 14 from both sides in the first one, it would be negative 14 is less than or equal to x. That's not going to work. And then down here, if I add 6 to both sides, I end up with 6 is less than or equal to x, which is what I had here. So there's two answers to this problem. So on your test, since these are random tests, you might have one answer or two answers. Make sure you check them all. For number 13, this is a two-part problem. So the solution of a plus b is greater than negative 4 is a is greater than negative 9. Okay, so I start with a plus b is greater than negative 4, and I figure I get a by itself. And I end up with a is greater than negative 4 minus b. And I already tell you what the solutions are. A is greater than negative 9. So that means that on the right-hand side, those two expressions must be equal. So I set them equal to each other. I go back and use my skills from chapter 3, and I end up with b equals 5. For number 14, so the student solves this inequality, and then here are the steps, and then what didn't they do correctly? Well, here when they divided both sides by negative 6, they needed to change the direction of the inequality sign. Okay, so the errors in step 2. For number 15, the area of a rectangle is greater than or equal to 90 square centimeters. So that's what I write right there. I also know to find the area of a rectangle, I need to multiply the length times the width. So I do that. 9 centimeters times x centimeters is 9x centimeters squared. And I know that this area has to be greater than or equal to 90 centimeters because I said here the area has to be greater than or equal to 90 centimeters. So I get x by itself, and so x has to be greater than or equal to 10 centimeters. So when I want to pick values, here's the x is equal to 10 centimeters. That is a solution. And then x is 11, x could be 11 centimeters because that is greater than 10 centimeters. All right, number 16. So a bus ride for a student costs $2. So every time you ride the bus, it costs $2. If you ride the bus 10 times, you just spent $20. You could get a monthly pass where you could just ride the bus as often as you want, and that costs $44. So which inequality represents the number x of times that the student must ride the bus for the monthly pass to be a better deal? So if I want the monthly pass to be a better deal, then if I just pay $2 every time I ride the bus, then I need to ride the bus so that $2 times however many times I ride the bus has to be more than $44 to be a better deal. So if I ride the bus 30 times, then 30 times 2 is $60, and that is more than $44. So I write an inequality to represent that, and then that is over there. All right, number 17. So you've got $11.50 to buy boxes of crackers, and this is how much the box of crackers costs. And you want to know how many, basically you want to know how many boxes you can buy. Okay, so $2.30 times X, which is the number of boxes, has to be less than or equal to the amount of money you have, which is $11.50, which I write as 11.5. So you divide both sides by 2.3 or $2.30, and I see that X has to be less than or equal to 5 boxes of crackers, which means you cannot buy more than 5 boxes of crackers. You can buy 3, you can buy 2, but you can't buy 6. You don't have enough money. Okay, we're almost done. Number 18. So a submarine must descend at an average rate of at least, and here at least means greater than or equal to 10 feet per minute for 5 minutes. So 10 feet per minute for 5 minutes means that the sub must descend at least 50 feet in 5 minutes. Well, each minute it shows how far the sub has descended. And in the 5th minute, you don't know. That's what you have to figure out. And this total, when you add all these together, has to be at least 50. So I just do the math down here. I have an equation, I add those numbers together, I subtract 38. So in the 5th minute, the sub has to descend at least 12 feet, which is, there you go. That's what this means. All right, that's 18. Number 19. An elephant needs to drink at least, there's that at least again, 40 gallons of water each day. A drinking tank contains 4 gallons of water, and the elephants already consumed 24 gallons of water. So they need to drink some more water. And you need to know how many more tanks of water does the elephant need to drink. And X is the number of tanks. So the number of times you have to fill up the tank. So I write an inequality here. And what this is saying is that the elephant has already had 24 gallons of water. And then 4 times X is the tank is 4 gallons. X is the number of times I fill the tank. So I got to fill that tank some more. All right. And then so I have a 2-step inequality. I solve it and I see that X, in order for the elephant to consume at least 40 gallons of water, I need at least 4 more tanks of water. And then the last problem, number 20, tickets to a school dance cost $5. 90 tickets have been sold. So how much is that? How much have they gotten taken in so far? It's $450 because you have 90 times $5. How many more tickets, X, so X is the number of tickets, must be sold to earn at least, there's that at least again, $700. So I write that inequality. So I make a 2-step inequality where 5 times, it's $5 for each ticket. So I know I need to sell some more. So that's what this piece is. The 450 is how much I've already sold. That's my 90 tickets. And when I add those two together, you have to have at least $700. So here's my 2-step inequality. I go ahead and solve it, and I end up with X has to be at least 50. So you have to sell at least 50 more tickets to make at least $700. So that is the answer key. Watch it as many times as you need to, pause it, work out the problems, check your answers, check your work. And good luck on the test. Make sure you study. This is Mr. Odom, and I am out.